All right, let's talk about the loneliest guy in the world. He's the final boss of the biggest, baddest monster tower out there. And honestly, he's bored out of his mind. The reason is simple. Every single hunter who climbs all the way up to fight him is just weak. They died way too fast. He doesn't even get to have a little fun, but they keep coming anyway. One overconfident old hunter shows up on his wedding anniversary and gets a funeral instead. A little girl pretends to be lost and tries to stab him, but she fails. He kills her too. More hunters come. Men get sliced apart. Everyone is desperate to prove they're strong, but Baphomet beats them all without even trying. He doesn't feel happy. He only feels disappointed. He really wants to leave the tower, but the giant door to his chamber can't be opened from inside. He's trapped, a prisoner in his own throne room. To kill the endless boredom, he tries everything, even banging on the door like a kid throwing a tantrum. Then one day, something new happens. A hunter's dropped phone starts buzzing on the stone floor. Curious, Baphomet picks it up. When the next hunter walks in, bragging about how he'll be the greatest, Baphomet defeats him easily. Then he points to the phone and asks what it is. He learns it unlocks with a person's face. So he uses the dead hunter's own head to open it. While the guy tries a cheap shot, thinking Baphomet is distracted, Baphomet kills him without even looking. This phone becomes a window to another world. After that, Baphomet starts collecting every little thing the hunters drop. Wallets, pictures, candy wrappers. These human objects fascinate him. They teach him about the human world, their silly habits, and their stories. His curiosity grows. So does his desperate wish to see the outside. He learns that humans believe in gods and pray for things they want. One day, surrounded by his grim trophies, he whispers his own prayer, not to a god, but to the universe. Let me be human, just once. His moment of longing is cut off by the phone beeping. Then he feels it. Someone is coming. He sits up straight on his throne, but he doesn't feel excited anymore. Killing hunters has become a boring chore. Now he just wants to finish the next one quickly and take whatever junk they drop. The moment this new guy walks in, Baphomet feels power coming off him like heat. He blocks the hunter's sword strike instantly. He swings back, but the hunter jumps high into the air. When the hunter attacks again, Baphomet realizes, this one is different. This hunter is actually worth his time. For a second, they just stare each other down. Then their swords crash together. During the fight, Baphomet feels excitement for the first time in centuries. He shoots out his chains to grab the hunter, but the hunter dodges easily. Baphomet teleports behind him, but the hunter senses it and jumps away again. Then the hunter slams Baphomet into the ground and raises his sword for the final blow. Looking up, Baphomet doesn't feel hate. He feels a sharp, ugly jealousy. This human strength is freedom. It's everything Baphomet isn't. He gets up, swings his own blade, and gets ready to fight again. Their final clash is a storm of steel. Baphomet uses his full power, summoning countless swords from the air. But the hunter blocks every single one with a shield of pure energy. Baphomet yells that he is the supreme one, but the hunter just mocks him. With all your power, you're still just a prisoner here. The words hit Baphomet like a physical punch. He's stunned. The hunter charges with overwhelming force, and Baphomet starts to wonder, is he truly the mighty king here, or is he just a toy, stuck in this room forever? The hunter's next attack cuts his skin, and in that searing pain, Baphomet admits the truth to himself. This human is strong and free. To be like him, unseen by him. A glowing quest message pops up in front of his eyes. Then darkness. The hunter gets a notification. He's finally conquered the Abyssal Tower. It will collapse soon, so he must leave immediately. He turns to go, not knowing that Baphomet is still alive, his hand gripping the hunter's blade. Later, workers arrive to clear the rubble. They collect the bodies of all the hunters who failed. One of them spots a figure in the dust and thinks he's a survivor. They call out to him. That figure is Baphomet. His mind flashes back. As the hunter raven got ready to strike the final blow, Baphomet rose up one last time. With all his strength, he stabbed his bare hand through the hunter's chest and crushed his heart. In that instant, he killed Raven, and he realized he had survived. Now the workers keep asking for his name, but Baphomet is too shocked to speak. He's staring at his hands, smooth human hands, in total awe. Then he remembers the main quest he received, to kill the hunter raven to get his deepest wish. The quest is complete. He looks up at the workers. My name is Baphomet. So Baphomet got his wish. He's human. But this new world has rules he doesn't understand. In this world, hunters are the heroes. They fight monsters from mysterious gates and towers. but people didn't always respect them. That changed after a disaster called the Gate Shock. A tower wasn't cleared in time. Monsters spilled out, and they killed a third of all people on Earth. After that, hunters became a big deal. Everyone started training to clear towers and protect the world. Now here comes Baphomet, the legendary final boss of the Abyssal Tower, the one who killed thousands, is suddenly walking around in human skin. At first, people think he's a hero, the hunter who finally cleared that impossible tower. They cheer for him, but then they ask him to show his power, to summon energy or swing a magic sword, something. And Baphomet can't. All his old world-ending strength is just gone. The cheers stop. The crowd's faces change. They start calling him a fraud, a liar, a con man pretending to be a hero. This is not the welcome he dreamed of. With no money and no respect, he hits rock bottom. He's injured, so he goes to a back alley clinic. The doctor fixes him up, but since he has no cash, she gives him a massive medical bill. To pay it off, she tells him to get a labor job. So he's stuck in debt before his new life even starts. Getting a normal job is impossible. Everyone recognizes his face from the news. They point, they laugh, they call him fraud to his face. Day after day, the bullying never stops. Until one day he snaps. Some thugs corner him, mocking him again. But this time, Baphomet doesn't just take it. He fights back, even with his godlike power gone. He's still stronger and faster than any normal human. He beats up everyone who taunts him. Word gets around. From that day on, anyone who even looks at him the wrong way gets hit. He gets a reputation, not as a hero, but as a violent, dangerous guy. Naturally, a few other losers and wannabes, people who are also at the bottom of society, see this and start following him. They like having a scary leader. Without even trying, Baphomet becomes the boss of a small back alley gang. This is his life now, not the freedom and strength he wanted. He's a thug leader, doing dirty jobs to pay off a doctor's bill. One of those jobs is in the deep dangerous mines. A new, young miner shows up for his first day. His boss reassures him that mining is simple and he'll learn fast. The boy is amazed by how huge the tunnels are. The boss explains that hunters cleared out the demon beast here, so it's safe now. He sends the boy to Area D, where you can find rare gems. Just then, Baphomet arrives with his gang. His guys push through the crowd, making a path for him like he's some kind of celebrity. The new kid asks who they are. The boss leans in and whispers, thugs, bad tempers, especially their leader, Baphomet. Don't provoke them. The boy is shocked. Why does the manager let them work here? The boss shrugs. The foreman personally wants them. They're extremely efficient. Just then, that foreman shows up. He's happy with their work and hands out their pay. One of Baphomet's guys, Retro, complains his pay is too low. Baphomet himself flinches when the foreman says he'll send Baphomet's salary to her, the doctor. Later, the gang offers to buy Baphomet food or a bath to cheer him up. One curious guy asks, "Boss, what do you even do with all your money?" Another lackey slaps him. Don't ask questions. Baphomet doesn't answer. He's remembering the doctor and the debt that chains him to this life. Suddenly, chaos. A monster, some mutated creature that was missed, bursts out and attacks a miner. But before it can strike, hunters appear in a flash of light. They kill the beast effortlessly and save the miner. They warn everyone not to go into the uncleared sections of the mine. Baphomet watches them. He sees their power, their grace, the respect everyone gives them. A deep, painful longing washes over him. That is the strength he wanted. That is what it means to be strong and free. Not this thug life in a dirty mine. He remembers how he lost all his power. He looks at his calloused, human hands, then back at the glowing hunters. A heavy regret settles in his chest. This isn't what I wished for. His mind goes to Raven, the hunter who defeated him. That is the kind of human he actually wanted to be like. His lackeys notice his gloomy face and try to cheer him up. "You're way cooler than those hunters, boss," one says. "They're so overrated," another laughs. "Their power just comes from a lucky awakening. Without it, they're just normal people. We could take them." On the outside, Baphomet just nods and agrees. But on the inside, he knows the truth. He remembers Raven's blinding power. He knows what real strength looks like. Another lackey chimes in, jealous. "Yeah, and they make so much money they live in fancy penthouses." Baphomet looks confused. Why is the top floor special? Someone else adds, "They don't even work hard. Their powers do everything. People like us, who earn money through actual effort, we deserve more respect." That last idea hits Baphomet hard. It sticks in his mind. For the first time, as a human, he's starting to understand the value of things. of earning something yourself. For the first time, Baphomet starts to see a glimmer of something good. One of his lackeys notices him looking flustered by their talk of hard work and teases him. And Baphomet realizes he's almost smiling. Their stupid, simple conversation is actually making him happy. His guys get excited and start competing to make him laugh. They even decide the funniest one will get the biggest share of their pay. Watching them, Baphomet feels a warm feeling in his chest. It feels like the excitement he got fighting Raven, but different. It's joy, a simple human joy. For the first time, he smiles for real. One of the lackeys, the one who was always quiet, suddenly asks, "Boss, what's your real name?" Baphomet replies, "I don't use it anymore." The answer surprises the lackey, who says it actually makes him sound cooler and more mysterious. Then, shyly, the lackey offers his own name to Baphomet. He says he's never lived up to the name his parents gave him, but he'd be happy if Baphomet used it. Curious, Baphomet asks what it is. The lackey laughs. "I've told you like 10 times, boss." Of course, Baphomet never bothered to remember. The lackey is just about to say it again when, boom, a violent explosion tears through the mine behind them. The next moment, the loyal lackey is swallowed by fire. Baphomet wakes up later, pain burning through his side. The scene is a nightmare. People are burning alive, screaming. The air smells of smoke and blood. He sees the charred bodies of his companions. He looks down. His hands are covered in blood. The body of the quiet lackey, the one who offered his name, lies right beside him. His mind goes blank. Then he feels it. That same hollow feeling he used to get when a fight ended too soon, when a toy broke before he was done playing. But this time, the emotion isn't boredom. It's pure white-hot fury. He staggers to his feet, trembling with rage. Who did this? Nearby, 2 C-class hunters are fighting for their lives against a culprit, a man who was disguised as a miner. The man is grinning. This trip was so worth it, he says. When Hunter realizes what he is, a scavenger, a type of hunter who hunts other hunters to steal their loot. The man laughs. Only half right. The male hunter looks around, hoping for survivors. But the female hunter snaps. Focus. Survival is unlikely. They argue about running or fighting. But their argument is cut short as the scavenger attacks. He mocks them. Then, he summons minions through dark portals. They swarm the area. His gaze lands on the injured girl hunter. His grin widens. "Lucky me, one alive." As she trembles, he reveals they're not just scavengers. There's something worse. They kill people and sell their body parts to rich people who think it will make them immortal. The boss tells his men to leave the hunters' fancy weapons. They're bound items, useless to anyone else. One of his goons gets annoyed by the crying hunter girl. "Shut up. No one's coming to save you." The boss chuckles. She's used up all her lifetime luck. But before he can finish, his head flies off his shoulders, cut clean off by Baphomet, who is now holding a dead hunter's bound sword. He stabs another goon and roars. Who is responsible for this? Just then, a notification flashes before his eyes. Hidden quest. Feel rage on behalf of a human. Fulfilled. Power, raw and explosive, surges through him. The system had warned that a bound weapon would be useless for him. But a system error triggers. His unique power, master weapons, awakens. The instant he touches a weapon, he can use it. He gains its skills. He beheads the goon, holding the girl. The boss's second-in-command senses him immediately. Baphomet demands again, "Who broke my toys?" The fight is brutal and one-sided, but not for the scavenger. Baphomet moves with deadly efficiency, killing goons in seconds. The new boss is thrilled. A jackpot. He attacks, but Baphomet blocks easily. The boss studies him, trying to figure out his power level. He uses a whip sword, a weapon meant to counter pure strength. He's fast, slicing Baphomet again and again, taunting him. But Baphomet has another trick. A passive skill activates. Death Throw. Whenever he loses blood, all his stats increase by 15%. Suddenly, he's keeping up with the boss's speed. He lands a punch that sends the boss crashing down. The boss is shocked. He swings his whip sword, planning to wear Baphomet down. But as it grazes Baphomet's face, he suddenly sees it, not a man, but a monstrous figure. Everything turns red. For a brief moment, the boss thinks, "Am I even fighting a human?" To his horror, Baphomet slices off his arm. "This one's for the leader," Baphomet growls. The boss screams. Baphomet cuts off his other arm. "And this is for the silent one." He severs one of his legs. "This is for the chubby one." Finally, Baphomet stands over him for the final strike. "And this is for the one who gave me his name." The boy's name, Minucha, flashes in his mind as he strikes. filled with berserk rage. He raises the sword for the killing blow. The boss curses, demanding to know who he is. Without a word, Baphomet ends him. But power has a price. Death throw turns against him, pushing his body into a berserk state. The urge to kill drowns out all reason. He craves blood, flesh, anything that breathes. He hears movement. The injured hunter girl is trying to stand. Instinct takes over. His sword rises on its own. A cold, ancient voice echoes in his mind. You were made to kill, made to destroy. A distant voice breaks through the haze. Someone is reporting to a superior. We've found survivors, sir. Footsteps approach. A new man, a leader, appears and orders silence. His gaze falls on Baphomet. He's confused. This isn't the one we came for. But Baphomet's face that bothers him. It stirs a forgotten memory. All Baphomet sees are more humans to kill. He lunges forward, but before he can reach them, the air shifts. Something unseen brushes against him. A whisper cuts through the madness. The world fades. Darkness follows, and his consciousness slips away. Baphomet wakes up with a start. He's not in the mine. He's in a small, empty, white room. He's behind a thick glass wall. Standing on the other side of the glass is the leader from the mine. The man looks at him and says, I recognize you. You're the scammer from the Abyssal Tower incident. Baphomet is confused. Is he talking about the hunter he just killed? The man, who will learn as Officer Ma, keeps talking. He says he tried to dig up information on Baphomet, but found nothing. It's like Baphomet never existed before that day. He's not even registered as a hunter. Ma thinks he must have just awakened his powers during the mine attack. Your fate depends on your answer, Ma warns. Who are you really? Annoyed, Baphomet slams his fist against the glass. It cracks with a loud spiderweb sound. Common manners, Baphomet growls. You introduce yourself first. From behind the glass, Ma just watches calmly. He asks again why Baphomet was in the mine cell. Do you regret killing the hunter we've been tracking for months? He says in a mocking tone. If I could revive him to kill him again, I would. Should I do the same to you, officer? That last line earns a laugh from a man who suddenly appears inside the cell with Baphomet. He's fast, impossibly fast. Try to kill me if you can, the man challenges. Startled, Baphomet stares. This man, his speed, his aura, he eerily reminds him of Raven. Baphomet charges, but in one swift motion, the man slams him to the ground and grabs his neck. The man grins, amused. Not bad. You've got a fighter's spirit. Finally, the man explains. He's part of a secret government group called the Rogue Association. They track down and arrest criminal hunters. The man Baphomet killed was one of those criminals, a murderer who sold body parts. By killing him, Baphomet did their job. But the officer says, you also killed 5 other men. That wasn't the work of a newbie. That was a professional. You have a natural instinct to kill. He concludes Baphomet must have killed countless people before. The problem is, they have no record of it. The only thing on file is the Abyssal Tower scammer story. Baphomet starts to sweat. He has killed thousands, but as a monster in another life. The officer decides Baphomet is dangerous by nature and will become a criminal. And when that happens, he says, we'll deal with you. Baphomet realizes he's no match for this man's power right now. He thinks of Raven again, how Raven had a human body he could train and strengthen over time. The officer seems to make a decision. We must eliminate you before you become a threat. But then he smiles. Or we can use you. He admits he likes Baphomet's killer instinct. It's useful. He offers him a place in the Rogue Association. Baphomet can put his talents to work for them. The scene shifts. Baphomet is now at the busy, noisy Central Agency for Hunter Affairs. He's sitting at a desk across from a receptionist. Purpose of your visit? She asks. Flashback to Officer Ma's deal. We can't just kill anyone. Besides, I like you. We found a jackpot. So they decided to use him. They set him up. Now in the present, Baphomet says, I want to register as a hunter. The receptionist checks his new fake ID and his pre-programmed hunter aptitude test results, all arranged by Officer Ma. Everything is in order. You'll need a code name, she says. Hunters use separate names from their real ones. Officer Ma had warned him. The scammer story made him infamous. His new work requires secrecy. He needs to choose wisely. Baphomet thinks for a moment. He smiles. The officer will regret giving me this chance. He's going to become stronger than all of them. He looks at the receptionist. My code name is Baphomet. He wants everyone to tremble when they hear it. After registering, we see Baphomet on his first mission. He's killing wolf-like monsters with his bare hands in a dungeon. He kicks one, slams another to the ground. It's easy. But when one monster evolves into a huge werewolf, Baphomet tries to summon a weapon. Nothing happens. Annoyed, he just punches it so hard it dies instantly. After finishing, he steps out of the portal. He's confused. Why hasn't his full power returned? He checks his system. It says his power requires him to feel rage for the sake of humanity. He got it when he wanted to kill the criminal hunter. This system, forcing quests on him, it's just like back in the tower. He decides to ignore it for now. First, he needs to figure out his next move. He's used to starting from zero. He's knocking on a door when someone appears behind him. Are you Baphomet? Baphomet senses a dark power and almost freaks out, but it's just Officer Ma. Ma is furious. You used the name of the Abyssal Tower boss as your codename. Are you trying to attract every bit of attention I told you to avoid? He shows Baphomet a message from his boss. Baphomet's reputation as a hunter is already ruined. To make it worse, Ma explains the official investigation into the Abyssal Tower is over. The conclusion? Raven was the one who killed the final boss. Raven was a great hunter who sacrificed himself. So, Ma says, staring him down, how do you plan to deal with this mess? You're a scammer, claiming the name of the monster that killed a hero. Baphomet just stays calm. He's too used to accusations to care. All he wants is to get strong enough to shut everyone up. Ma warns him about the consequences. With no other choice, he gives an order. Report to Jeju Island for training. You're going to face the music. Baphomet arrives on Jeju Island and sees the ocean for the first time in his life. He's only ever seen it on a phone screen. He's amazed. His guide, a man named Taeyong, says they have a few hours before the meeting and will call a taxi. But Baphomet, like a kid, just runs straight toward the water. Taeyong sighs, annoyed. He remembers his orders. Keep Baphomet under strict watch. His superiors think Baphomet is perfect for their dirty work, easy to control, and if he causes trouble, they can handle him. Baphomet then gets distracted by a foreign tourist with blue eyes. A different race, he says out loud, remembering something he read online. Mortified, Taeyong drags him away. They soon arrive at Heartlan, a fancy training center for new hunters. Baphomet is surprised. Hunters need training? I thought they just fought monsters. Taeyong explains that with so many hunters, the government has to manage them with rules and regulations. He gives Baphomet a new ID, some supplies, and a brand new smartphone. This simple gift makes Baphomet genuinely quietly happy. His official human name on the ID is now Minucha, the name of the lackey who died giving it to him. Baphomet suspects Taeyong is spying on him. Taeyong admits it openly. You'll understand why soon enough. Inside, the orientation is boring, until the director walks on stage. It's Officer Ma. He introduces himself to the crowd as Director Ma. Baphomet is stunned. After the ceremony, Baphomet corners him. What's your game? Rogue agent 1 minute. Director the next. Keep your voice down. Ma hisses. He explains his official job is here at the Central Agency. When Baphomet accuses him of tricking people, Ma just smirks, says the famous con man. All around them, people whisper. It's the scammer. Look, it's Baphomet. What a joke. The crowd's disdain is a physical wall. Director Ma tells Baphomet not to stand so close in public. It's bad for my reputation. He walks away pleased. His plan is working. The more everyone hates Baphomet, the more Baphomet will have to rely on him for protection. He thinks Baphomet is just a simple-minded brute, perfect for his plans. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the hall changes. A group of hunters walks in wearing golden IDs. The crowd erupts in excited whispers. A-class hunters. Why are they here? Their training isn't for another week. Director Ma is delighted. This is perfect. The presence of these elite heroes will inspire the new recruits. Well, all except one. Baphomet isn't inspired. He's distracted by the huge buffet of food. Real food he's only ever seen in pictures. In the tower he never ate. As a human, he lived on cheap soup and instant noodles. This is a feast. He tries to remember what humans say before eating. Thank you for the food, he mumbles to himself, and is about to dig in when ice-cold water is poured over his head. So this is the famous Baphomet, a voice sneers. It's one of the A-class hunters, a man named Layan. You look ordinary. Disappointing. Layan's friend tries to calm him. Layan, everyone's watching. Layan doesn't care. He's angry. That name, the monster who killed that boss, killed many of our friends. It's a disrespectful name. You should change it. Baphomet doesn't even look at him. He flicks a glob of food from his plate onto Layan's head. The entire hall gasps. Director Ma looks furious. Layan curses. You have some nerve. Baphomet finally speaks, calm and cold. Why are you so upset over a name? I can't bring the monster back. by saying it. If you cared about your friends, you should have killed the boss yourselves. You just sound weak. Layan's friend scoffs at the logic, but Layan is now seething. Baphomet provokes him further. What's wrong? Are you weak? That's it. Layan launches himself at Baphomet, his body glowing with an active power buff. He's furious, screaming that Baphomet killed Raven. He remembers Raven believing in him, encouraging him. He winds up for a massive punch. Baphomet calculates whether to block or dodge. A bloody clash seems certain. Enough. A new voice, quiet but firm, cuts through the tension. Everyone falls silent. The newcomer's face is familiar, even to Baphomet. It's a younger, sharper version of Raven. He is Griffin, Raven's younger brother. The murmurs confirm it. The youngest hunter to ever reach A-class. Layan's friend greets him, surprised to see him. But Layan is still raging. How dare you talk about rules after what he did? Griffin shocks everyone with his reply. I agree with him. He looks at Layan. It was our own weakness that led to our comrades' deaths at the tower boss's hands. Not a name. Director Ma quickly steps in to calm things. As the crowd watches, Layan turns his anger on Ma. How could you approve a fraud like him? Ma puts on a show, apologizing for not banning Baphomet sooner. He turns to Baphomet. My office. Now, in a hushed, sharp whisper, Ma tells Baphomet, shut up and follow me. You're not strong enough to beat an A-class hunter, not even if you were 100 times stronger. Keep your head down. Later, Baphomet is alone, frustrated. He punches a vending machine that ate his money. Nearby, a group of rookies are gossiping about the con man ruining their training. They see Baphomet's violent outburst and, terrified by the unconscious killing intent he radiates, scatter immediately. The vending machine, as if scared too, spits out a free drink. Annoyed, Baphomet takes it and goes to watch the friendly matches between the A-class hunters. In the arena, Layan is winning his 8th straight match. The referee asks if anyone else will challenge him. Layan calls out Griffin. Griffin accepts, but sets rules. It's a contest of speed and skill. They each have a blue band on their arm. First to grab, the other's band wins. No active skills allowed. Director Ma arrives to watch. Good, he tells his junior. This will be a lesson for the new hunters. His eyes drift to Baphomet in the crowd. The match is breathtaking. Layan and Griffin move like blurs, a fierce dance of hand-to-hand combat. The crowd gasps and cheers. Griffin is shockingly fast. He feints, leaves an opening, and in a flash, he's behind Layan with Layan's blue band in his hand. The crowd goes wild. Griffin is a prodigy. Griffin then does the unexpected. He points into the crowd. I choose my next opponent. The announcer agrees, but then stutters. Who? Baphomet, Griffin says. A murmur of disbelief ripples through the crowd. A rookie against the prodigy? It's a joke. The announcer says it's too one-sided, but Director Ma speaks up. Let it proceed. It will be good data on the power gap and a lesson. To make it fair, they put a slight handicap on Griffin. Baphomet remembers Ma's words. Keep your head down. But Ma clearly wants Griffin to beat some humility into him. The match starts. It's not a fight. It's a beating. Griffin is a storm. He slams Baphomet to the ground, grabs his arm, pounds his face. Baphomet is just a punching bag. He realizes he can't win. All he can do is survive and look for one moment, one opening. The spectators whisper. He's just using him to vent. Griffin must hate him for using the monster's name that killed his brother. Baphomet is badly hurt, but a strange excitement builds. He wants to see Griffin's real power. Suddenly, Griffin stops. This is pointless, he says, turning to leave. The announcer agrees and calls for other challengers. But Baphomet's heart is pounding with adrenaline. The monster inside him stirs. He's still weak, but he feels himself drifting, snapping. He raises his middle finger at Griffin's back. Griffin senses it instantly. He spins and delivers a single, devastating kick. The impact sends Baphomet flying not just off the mat, but straight through a giant window. He plummets down and crashes into a swimming pool below. The crowd, especially a group of girls by the pool, shrieks in horror. Baphomet is stunned, defeated by one blow. But in the pain, he understands his own limits clearly now. One day, he vows, Griffin will kneel before me. Right now, the more immediate problem is that he can't swim. As he sinks, a figure dives in through the blurry water. He sees blonde hair and blue eyes. A girl swims toward him. As he blacks out, he grabs onto her hair. Help, he bubbles. The girls by the pool panic when they see strands of blonde hair floating to the surface. Valkyrie, she jumped in after him. The price of blonde hair. Baphomet wakes up on the poolside. The blonde girl Valkyrie is nearby. Her friends glare at him. Stop staring, or she'll gouge your eyes out. Director Ma rushes over to clean up another mess. The leader of the girls, Arachne, is the president of the famous Art Guild. She shows Ma a single perfect strand of Valkyrie's blonde hair. You see this? Do you know the effort, the money it takes to maintain this hair? She demands 116 million won in compensation, $1 million per golden strand. Ma panics. Baphomet has now angered one of the top guilds in the country. Baphomet, clueless, scoffs. Is she even worth that much? He has no idea Valkyrie is an A-class hunter and a top celebrity model. Arachne smirks. Pay up or end your hunter career. Or she eyes him. You can pay in installments with your body. Those words trigger Baphomet's trauma from the scammer doctor. Furious, he refuses. He points at Ma. He should pay. Or blame Griffin. He kicked me. Just then Griffin appears. The atmosphere chills. The Ark Guild members freeze. They can't afford to mess with Griffin or his guild Nebula. Griffin calmly confirms he kicked Baphomet. It was an accident. But Arachne is stubborn. She still wants her money. With no choice, Director Ma makes a staggering offer. The government can't pay cash, but they can offer something more valuable. Exclusive rights to a dungeon tower for 1 year. This means the Ark Guild would own everything inside it. Monster crystals, loot everything. They could even charge other hunters to enter. It's a huge privilege. Arachne pretends to think it over, then accepts, a sly smile on her face. Ma's assistant is horrified he made such a big decision without approval, but Ma shrugs. It benefits the agency in the long run. As the Ark Guild leaves, Valkyrie wakes up. She glances back at Baphomet, gives him a playful wink and a grin, then walks away. Baphomet is completely thrown. What does that mean? Does she want to fight me? A tired Ma apologizes to both Baphomet and Griffin for the chaos. Later, Griffin finds Baphomet alone. You're so weak you didn't even sense me, Griffin taunts. Then he gets to the point. He holds up the blue band from their match. How did you take this from my arm? Baphomet is confused. He looks at the band in Griffin's hand. Griffin explains. When Baphomet fell from the window, Griffin later found the band floating in the pool. Baphomet stole it during the fight, and Griffin never even noticed. A slow smirk spreads on Baphomet's face.